Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to the Sister to Sister Connection Show. My name is Leticia Campbell. I'm sorry my green screen is acting up right now, but my name is Leticia Campbell, and I'm here to present to you guys an amazing, awesome talk show that Twonta and I both do every single week. We're working on the days and times right now. I believe we're in this, which season are we in, Therese? Yes, I believe I think we're in the 13th or 14th season. So we are trying a brand new platform. We're using Eve Mux, or however you pronounce that. And we are trying to play around with the days and the times and stuff. So please be patient with us, you guys. But make sure this is why it's so important that number one, you're on our email list. Number two, you're inside of our Facebook group community. Yes, we're in season 15. Thanks, Therese. And number three, you have your notifications on. So whenever we are going live, you guys are able to know that we are here. Okay. So as I just mentioned, my name is Leticia Campbell. We're in season 15. This is going to be an amazing episode. I absolutely love, love, love today's topic. Twonta is not feeling well this evening, so she won't be joining me tonight. But I promise you guys it's going to be just as amazing as if she was here. So Twonta and I both co-host the Sister to Sister Connection talk show, and we have three pillars to our show. The first pillar is all about stability. You're going to learn about how to be a stable individual in life and in business from watching this each episode. Number two, sisterhood. We firmly believe in sisterhood, sisterhood, sisterhood. It's so important that we love on each other, we support each other, we don't hate or have any type of jealousy or ill will against each other. And we also give each other grace, right? We also give each other grace. That's very, very important. And then last but never least, spirituality. Listen, we talk about God a lot, and if that is not your thing, this is not your talk show to watch. So we do talk about God. We reference speakers and things like that. Twonta is actually an ordained minister. Okay, so she definitely drops a word every single week, as well as myself. Okay, and also we have our show producer Teresa. So if you hear me say Teresa a lot, she's down here in the green room area, bringing up you guys' comments, bringing up the banners and things like that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this topic. If you happen to be joining us on the replay, go ahead and type in hashtag replay. Also go ahead and share this out, even if you're a replay viewer. And make sure y'all comment, especially if you're on the replay, because we love to reply back and respond to you guys' comments. Because even though you're watching the replay right now, still join in on the conversation because what you have to say to contribute to today's topic is very, very, very much so important. Let's go ahead and get into the topic for tonight, which is called Take the Covers Off. Mm. Take the covers off. Now, those of y'all who have those, little sneaky little mindset, we ain't talk about that type of covers. We talk about the mental covering that we do. So let's go ahead and get into the first topic. And thank you guys so much for joining us for season 15 of the Sister to Sister Connection Show. This is episode number 4. Yes, yes, yes. So the first thing we want to discuss as it pertains to taking the covers off mentally, right, is it conceals the real you, right? When we have covers on, when we have a mask on mentally, right? When we're walking in a room and we're pretending that we're somebody, hey, Melvina, we're pretending that we're somebody that we're not, right? Or, and I listen, I was guilty of this for 22 years, y'all. Y'all want to know a quick secret that I've been doing was that I stopped doing as of last year that I was doing for 22 years. I was shifting who I was when somebody entered the room or when somebody entered my space, right? That is not good. I was concealing the real me, who I was genuinely am in my heart of hearts. And we do that sometimes as women. Sometimes we could be the most brightest, the most intelligent, the most kind, the most smart, the most outgoing individuals, right? But how many times, I'm going to raise my hand again, that we dumbed ourselves down, right, to please somebody else or to make somebody else feel comfortable? How many times we just took things in and took things in and took jabs and took, mental jabs and took mental abuse, toxicity, things like that, all to make somebody else comfortable. Amen. That is not good. That's called concealing the real you, concealing who you truly are. And that's not safe, right? One of the biggest things that I enjoy, that I have been enjoying for the past 5, 6 months now, is being around people and being my genuine self. Y'all, that's the most comfortable feeling. It's the most comfortable feeling being around individuals, even in a relationship, and you can be who you are without being fear of being judged or being ridiculed. Even in business, being around clients and customers, where you could just be who you are without being judged, without being ridiculed, right? Or without being told, hey, you're gonna act like this, I'm out. You know, don't conceal the real you. When you're putting those covers off on, you are concealing your true and genuine self, right? When you take those covers off mentally, you are having more joy. You are shining like a diamond. You're shining bright, and you're more accepting that not everybody's for you. You see? Okay, it looks like I'm back. Yes, you're accepting the fact that not everybody's for you. Not everybody's going to be your cup of tea, if you will. Amen. All right, let's go ahead and get into number two. And again, if you haven't shared this out, please make sure you share this out. Join in on the conversation, even if you're watching this on a replay, by giving us a comment, by putting in your input as well. Even if your input is against what I'm saying, that's fine. This is why it's so great to have conversation. Having conversation means that you don't always have to agree with everything that everybody else says, right? But if y'all have the same common vision, right? If y'all have the same common goal, that doesn't matter. That's even better. But again, we can have differences of opinion and that be totally fine because I'm basing what I'm saying off of experience, right? But you may probably have a different experience. So let's go into number two. Be vulnerable and strong. Be vulnerable and strong, right? Sometimes we put on those covers, right, mentally, and we want to be safe, right? We don't want to conceal, any pain or anguish. Or we for 22 years, one of the things that I've done, I was operating in silence. I was operating in silence. You know why that's bad, guys? That's really bad because once people really see what's really been happening mentally with you behind under the covers, they're so surprised. They're so shocked, like, what? Really? That was really what was going on? It's because we decide to keep secrets, because we decide to hide things, because we don't want to shake up the what they call it, ruffle feathers. We make the decision to say, I don't want to be vulnerable. I don't want to be open. And another reason is sometimes we're embarrassed, right? How many of you didn't want to reveal or become vulnerable because if you did get out there and told the world what you're really going through, you're going to feel you didn't want to do it because you felt like, oh, I want to be embarrassed. I'm ashamed that I'm going through this. Or I'm ashamed that I'm allowing people to put me through this pain. But when we get out there and open up to the right people, right, our strength gets stronger. We become more stronger mentally. We become more stronger physically because we are accepting our vulnerability as women. Everybody, I've vulnerabilities, right? I have things that make me nervous, make me scared, make me upset, make me angry, right? Make me emotional, right? All those things are true. But you know what's so important? I was looking at a post the other day and it said, you're a powerful person when you know how to control your feelings. What knowing that you are trying to control your feelings, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to get to the point where you're vulnerable and you're going to make mistakes. But when you give your own self grace, when you give your own self grace, those mistakes become strength for you. And I love that. I love that about life. Is that it's always something every day I'm um, going through the process of becoming more awakened and more released in my thoughts, and the processes that I'm feeling throughout life as a mom, as an entrepreneur, as a friend, all those things coincide. But no, guys, you're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna feel vulnerable. You're gonna feel open. You're gonna feel like, wow, but accept those feelings and emotions because that's going to help you to build up your strength, right? Let's go ahead into number three, guys. Let's go into number three. And we do have a Facebook group community, guys. If you guys want to check us out behind the scenes, The link is bit.ly/ sister to sister connection. You want to definitely get access and get inside of that community. So stand in your nakedness. Are we allowed to put that word on screen? YouTube be acting weird. Okay, we'll see what happens. Yes, love yourself. That's what that means. Love yourself. You know what's so interesting? I had a thought in my mind the other day. Um, the best person to spend time with is yourself. The best person to get to know more is yourself. The best person to build a better relationship with, a better companionship with, a better partnership with is yourself. Sometimes we don't even like to even look at ourselves in the mirror, right? Or we don't even like to spend that quiet time with yourself. I mean, with 5 kids, y'all, I don't have a lot of quiet time, but one of the things I definitely want to, and Movina, if you're still on here, go ahead and put up some emojis in the chat. Last week, Movina is one of my clients, and she said, I go on a date night with myself. I said, what? I wrote that down in my calendar. I said, you know what, every Friday, I haven't started yet, but I wrote it down in my calendar because I always build on intention, right? I said, I'm going to have a date night with myself. We got to enjoy ourselves. We got to enjoy it. We really stand in our own nakedness. We're really saying, God, I thank you for every curve. I thank you for every thought. I thank you for even the mistakes that I've gone through in my life. I thank you. I thank you because everything works in my good. Everything works in my favor. Y'all go ahead and put that in the chat. Everything works in your good. Everything works is going to work in your favor. Stand in it. What does that mean by stand? It means be assertive in it. Be consistent in it. Be accepting. Okay, no worries, Therese. Thanks. Be accepting in it. Accept it. Can't change it, right? Just accept it. And the more and more we have that forward mindset where we're standing in it, right? But then we're also saying, I look forward to today. I look forward to the future. We have more joy. We'll have more joy. So the best person that you can spend time with, the best person you get to know, the best person that you can love on, care for, the person that should be at the top of your list is you. Is you. 100% you. All right. Let's go into the next one, number 4. Let's go to number 4. How many points we have today, Therese? Yes, Movina said, yes, I'm here and I love my Friday night date. Yes, Movina got all glammed up, honey. She sent me a picture on Facebook. She had her jewelry on, honey. She was all glammed up. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. Is this the last point, Therese? Let me know. Yes. So listen, y'all, those of you who just hopped on, you know, we're so happy and welcome to have you. If you're watching this on a replay, definitely feel free. Oh my God, here she is. Yes! Oh my God! Y'all, if y'all know who I'm talking about, Twonta just entered the building, honey. She surprised us.
Hey
Come
y'all.
on up here. How you feeling?
Still a little queasy, but
Easy.
I'm good.
Something going around. We already hit point number 4.
Oh, did you?
Yes, but it's good, girl. You come on here. We can make this a whole. We can do a recap. We can do a recap.
Okay, cool.
Okay, but let's do a recap real quick, and then we're gonna get into number 4. So again, today's topic is taking those covers off, right? Taking those
Yeah.
covers off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, take the covers off.
Mhm.
Okay. Yes,
Mhm.
yes, yes. Number 1 was definitely really good because it hones
Mhm.
into it conceals the real you. It
Yeah.
conceals the real you. Toronto, what do you have to say to that, love? Because I already told them my thoughts on it. Go ahead, sis.
Yeah. When I say about conceals, that means it hides. Because a lot of people, unfortunately, been living behind the mask, and that's where they started a new journey of faking till they make it. And some people continue to uh, portray that everything is all good in their world, that their marriage is good, their career is great, that they don't have no problems or issues, or even if they do have some issues, they know how to fix it. But when they leave the public view and they get behind closed doors, they take that mask off, and it's hell and fury. It's depression, or it's oppression, it's sadness, it's jealousy, it's anger. And there's been, I believe, a lot of sisters out there that, are wearing this mask to the point, honestly, it's difficult to take that mask off because they've been wearing it so long that that mask starts to bleed into their actual identity. So when it's time to take it off, it's a struggle. But you can take it off, because when you're tired of portraying something that you're not, or somebody that you're not, you do whatever means necessary to start, being the real you. People conceal because they don't want people to see their scars, their insecurities, and all those things. And I don't know if you had touched on that, Tish, before I came on, but that's
Yes,
pretty
I mean,
much.
it's
Mhm.
def concealing the real you.
Yeah,
What I, one of the points I was making with that is another side of that is, in my experience,
yeah.
having to dumb down who I am to make other people around me feel comfortable or feel relevant. So a lot
Hmm.
of times, if we have somebody in our lives who is extremely insecure individual, when they come into
Yeah.
your presence or when they are involved in whatever it is that you're doing, a lot of
Mm.
times you don't want to say certain things or you don't want to act a certain way because that person, behind the doors, they may say, well, you do this and you shouldn't have did that and all these things. And it's just judging, judging, judging 24/7. I mean, you have some people in your life that they can't even say a nice word about you. It's like I told this person one time, I'm like, it will almost kill you if you gave me a compliment. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah,
that's what it is. But again, when you're around individuals, whether a man or a woman, who don't have a sense of confidence within themselves,
yeah.
they bring other people down. And I've been in that environment several times for several years,
Hmm.
where it's like, okay, let me not be who I am, so I won't get the whole backlash or the ridicule or the judging from this particular person. And that's not great because, again, going back to what Tawanta said, you're not being yourself. You're not being your authentic self. You're altering who you are to fit, almost like you're really I'm really a size 10. I'm trying to be a size 7. You put If I put my big size 10 foot in a size 7 shoe, what's going to happen? It's going to hurt.
Gonna hurt.
It's going to be painful. I want to be able to get my foot into it, right? Maybe halfway
Right.
into it, as I'm walking, I'm like hurting myself. But
Hmm.
you're doing it because, well, that's you're trying to change shape like a chameleon. You know what I'm saying? And that's not good. That's not good at all. And your
Exactly.
children end up repeating that.
Exactly. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So let's
Amen.
go into number two. Let's go into number two. Take the covers off. We're
Mm.
recapping, y'all. I love this. We're definitely recapping.
Yeah.
This is definitely a very, very, very important topic. Oh my God, I think Therese got kicked off. Ooh.
She did.
Yeah, here she comes. She's coming back, y'all. Show producer.
Okay.
She's back in the building. All right, Therese. Yeah, we're on number two, Therese. We're on number two. I'm like, oh my God, what do we do?
Hmm.
Yeah, so number two was be vulnerable and strong. Be vulnerable and strong, both at the same time. Go ahead, Tawanta. What are
Oh
your
God,
thoughts on
yeah. Both at the same time. Because when we become vulnerable, we believe when the world says you weak, and that you're not, um how can I say it? You're gonna cripple, you're gonna crumble, because you're so vulnerable, you're weak, and you're not able to stand. But that's so wrong. You're vulnerable, but you're still a strong being. You're a strong woman. Everybody has a vulnerable moment in their life, and that doesn't make you weak. You may feel weak in terms of your physical situation. You know, you may have a weak mindset, but you have that power within you to say, you know what? I'm a strong woman. I'm a strong being. You know, when you're not feeling your best, like right now for me, I wasn't feeling good. It was something I ate, I think, but I had a cup of peppermint tea that kind of helped relieve that. And I said, no, I'm going to come on, and just, be in the background, so to speak. But even when you are vulnerable, you do not let your enemy see you're weak. You still go ahead and put that 10%, 15%, even 50% of whatever that you are called to do, whether it's for your business, whether it's in your ministry, even in your family, your personal life. Because I guarantee you, in your family, child, they got ways to try to make you look weak, make you look, all, crumbled and like, oh, she can't do it, child. You know, and they try their best to demean your character or to assault you based on your past because they know when they did that before, what did you do? You ran away, right? You ran away and you like, I can't deal with them. They're too intimidating or whatever. But now that you know who you are, who you have become, and who you are becoming, you gonna take what strength you have inside of you and stand bold face of all of your enemies and let them know that I am not alone in this, that God got me, that I am protected, and I'm good. Yeah, I'm vulnerable. I'm dealing with this loss. I'm dealing with this divorce. I'm dealing with, the loss of my job or whatever. Yeah, I was a hoe. Yeah, I was doing this. I was tricking. Yeah, I was messing around with Tom, Dick, and Harry. But that ain't my life no more. Okay? I'm not that chick no more. Okay, you could talk about me all day long, but I'm not going to respond to that vulnerable life of mine no more because it doesn't exist. It exists to them, but it don't exist to me because I am becoming or I have become a different, strong, vulnerable woman. So I'm not going to let my vulnerability to put me back in this cage that you created for me. I'm the key to that cage. So I'm busting out of there. Okay. I may have a little bit of stuff going on, but I'm not gonna let that stuff imprison my way of thinking, to the point that it have me to start believing what you have created for other people to see, that I'm weak, that I'm not, to be trusted or whatever. Right? So yes,
Right.
that's what that means. I'm vulnerable and strong because
Yeah.
you don't want
And
none of this smoke, boo boo.
that's right. And if anybody out there in your life is taking your vulnerability and putting it against you, your past, if you will,
Exactly.
they're trying to conceal their mess. Their mess is greater than whatever mess that you got yourself into. So yes,
Yeah.
like stay away from those people that are always talking about who you were
Always.
yesterday. Like in my church, they always say we're used to, or they. I'm like, let's stop saying used to. What are we gonna do now in the future? Everybody's all about the past. The past. You can't change the past. You
Yeah.
know, you can't change your mistakes. You can't change none of that. You know. And
Exactly.
another thing about vulnerability is a lot of times may not be good at a certain thing. Like
Yeah.
let's say if you're not good at cooking or whatever, right? And that's
Yeah.
just not your cup of tea. You don't or you may be good at cooking but you don't like to bake, right?
Right. Yeah.
It's okay to just say, you know what, that's not my thing, because it allows other people in your life who are good at something that you're not good at to help you and to guide you and to encourage you and to whatever. You know what I'm saying? And say, hey, you may not be good at baking, I'll bake the cake. You know, sometimes because I've done that where I said yes to everything, even things that I was not good at doing. Yes, yes, I'll be a team player. But
Mhm.
really, what I needed to do is say, you know what, I could do this, but not that. I'm not good at that. And we don't want to say that we're not good at that. We want to say yes to everything. And really, what happens is we're putting ourselves in a chokehold and not giving other people the opportunity to shine with their strengths, and then we operate in our strengths, right? Almost like in a relationship. You know, relationships in my mindset now, the way I'm thinking now, just from my
Mhm.
experience, is that relationships should always be now a partnership. Two people who are whole coming together as one for a common mission and a common goal. What does that mean? That means that the things that I'm not good at, if somebody is great, who happened? Somebody fell.
Child's my cat.
Oh my, that's how I thought one of the girls fell, honey. you
Oh
cut
no, they facing each other and acting
you
like a
cut that
fool.
credit. I was like, oh,
And they know they're in trouble because they went in the room and hide.
they dipped, huh?
Yeah.
Oh my God, as long as it's not the girls that fell. You heard that Therese tweet over there laughing. I was like, yes, but guys, embrace your vulnerability because that's your strength as well. Embrace it, embrace it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the next one, number three. While I get this ring light together, let's go to number three. Go to number three. Stand in your nakedness. Go ahead.
Yeah, Lord. This is about being raw, being true, unadulterated, real with your vulnerability, your imperfections, your scars, your mistakes, your faults. It's about being accountable. It's about um I won't say accessible, but you being there for real, and you don't care who gawks at you, or they got something to say negative about you, because you can't please everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's just not going to work regardless. But you doing this for yourself. This is freedom. That's what standing your nakedness is all about. It's about freedom. It's about being honest with yourself. It's about looking yourself in the mirror and saying to yourself, "Yeah, I messed up. Yeah, I screwed up. Yeah, I betrayed my friend. Yeah, I haven't been honest. Yeah, I lied because I just wanted to act, be part of the crowd, or whatever it is. Own it, because when you don't be honest, you're lying to yourself. Yeah, you're lying to others, but you're lying to you. You're not being honest. Stand in your nakedness. Stand in the rawness of you. Stare at your scars, because those scars have stories. Those scars reminded you where you were, not where you are now. It reminds you where you've been, but now look where you are. You standing 5 years later from that scar. That scar could be an abusive relationship. That scar could be where you lost everything you own. That scar could be from a family dispute. Whatever it is, you look at that scar and you stand there and say, yes, that hurted me. Yes, I'm angry. Yes, I'm still feeling that. Even though that scar did heal, but it's still visible, and it still make you feel some kind they never left. But yet currently they want what's going on now. They want the relationship. They want a new companion. They want a new career. They want a new this. But you still are holding on to the issues of your past that you never got corrected.
Right, looks like Tawata froze. Okay, sorry about that, y'all. She'll be back in a moment. Again, this is a really, really great topic. If you're watching this, share this out, tag someone on here, and also join in on the conversation. We're almost done, actually. So again, standing in your nakedness. Let's go ahead and get to the next point. The next point, which is point number 4. She'll definitely hop back on while we are jumping into this. Okay, so face it and deal with it. Face it and deal with it. What does that mean by facing it? Don't hide from it. Don't run from it. Don't avoid it. Don't move around it. Don't go under it. Don't. A lot of times when we avoid facing those things that we need to work on, they come up later on in different forms, in different shapes, in different experiences, right? So you're going to have to face it. You're going to have to face it now, or you're going to have to face it later. Sometimes when we're facing those things, those whether it be a weakness or something, a challenge or something you have to work on later on, it gets worse. It's like putting, when you have expired milk in the fridge, or what have you. You feel like, oh my God, it's smelling, it's stinking. I got to get rid of it, right? But again, certain things you just can't get rid of. Certain things you just can't uh, sweep under the rug or become so content with. How many of us get so content, especially people's behaviors, especially with people's behaviors? We get. Yep, I can hear you. I can hear you. Yeah, here you come.
Sorry, that was the Wi-Fi on my end. That's on me.
Okay, hold on. You're showing up. Nothing on the screen. Is your camera on?
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay, okay. Trees, can you see her? Or is it just me? Because I can't see her. I see her camera's her screen is on up, but I can't see and I can hear her. Let me check on the feed. Maybe it's me. Maybe it is me. Maybe it's me. Yeah, so Tuanta, if you can hear me, we're on point number 4. Face
Yeah.
it and deal with it, love. What are your thoughts on that?
Face it and deal with it. Basically, we got to be accountable. Deal with what you've been avoiding to talk about. Deal with what you've been trying to submerge and bury, and just try to walk away. Some try to run away from whatever to deal with. You need to own it. You need to own it. You need to be free. You need to be real. You need to be honest. Because y'all listen, this is we carry so much on our chest. We can blame anybody and everybody all day long, but it's not them. It's you. It's you. You're the one that is not being honest with yourself. People are, they can't connect with you because, you get offensive, you get upset, you get angry, and it has a whole lot to do with issues that you try to avoid. So it's time for you to face it. Be honest with yourself. Like, I'm not happy with myself. I haven't forgiven myself because of that relationship that I committed to, or I'm not happy where I am right now, but I pretend I was, but I'm really not, right? Deal with the consequences, because a lot of us don't want to deal with the consequences. We don't want to deal with it. We just want to go ahead and brush off, and try to ignore or try to be entitled.
Right, right. Absolutely.
We
Hmm.
try to be entitled. We don't want to deal with it, right? But
Right.
no, that makes you look ugly.
That's right. That's right. Spot
So
on.
you need to make some changes with
Hmm.
your presentation, with your appearance, with your character, all of that. That's all on you. That has nothing to do with those individuals that's in your life, even those that that has a whole lot to say. They did not create your character. You did that. You're the one. Remember, remember I said I'm the key. You the key. You can lock or unlock what is healthy and what is not. You can close that door and say on the other side of that door is nothing but drama, lies, manipulation, deceit, narcissistic behavior. I love my family or I love so and so, but I don't want to deal with that because that's what has put me in this position to not taking the covers off. So now I'm going to face it. If you have to do this alone, do it alone. Stand there and face it and deal with it. Go ahead and talk to the person whom you have hurted, whom you have, you know, you did some things, you said some things to that person, and you never took the accountability. You kept throwing it back at their face and said they were the problem. You're the issue. You're this, you're that, but you're the one that initiated it. Now it's time to own it. Now it's time to put on that big girl panties and say, you know what? I just want to call so and so and say, girl, listen, I'm gonna own up. I messed up. I screwed up. I was jealous. I was hurt. Blah blah. Whatever it is, and it's up to them to receive the apology. If they don't, that's on them. But don't take it personal because both of y'all have to learn. You have to. You're starting a new thing here to try to heal. Not everybody's going to be on that same race of healing. Everybody takes healing differently, right? So yeah, you got to start learning how to face it and deal with the aftermath, deal with the consequences, deal with, the truth of whoever or that may want to say how they feel or how they have felt since you attacked them or you know um had abused them in a way. You got to take it, meaning you got to face it and own that. Okay, we got to stop pretending that I'm this, I'm that doesn't affect me, that don't hurt me. You remember the reality shows with the housewives, and you remember they always at the end of their season they come together to talk about or recap about the show, the episodes, and then they being like, well, but since I'm being real, you're the B because you slept with my man, blah, 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 blah. Right? And then that person that she's attacking, she gonna go back on her, but there's no accountability. It's tit for tat because they doing it for the ratings, they doing it for show, but it's personal. They're not facing it. They still wearing their mask, right? They're not dealing with it accordingly. They're not taking full responsibility to say, yeah, I was hurt, I was this, that, da, da, da. No, they want to go ahead and cover it up and gaslight, right? They want to gaslight. They want to just hurt that person because they be darned if they gonna be gonna be hurt. No, I'm gonna hurt you worse. You know. But that's what we as women we doing that to ourselves. That's a bad thing, y'all. But yet we want to still continue to live this glamorous life, fake it till we make it. But you're going to keep on faking and you never will make it. You're not going to make it to where you want to be. You're going to make it to some place that you wish you never never will, that you never thought you will be. And that's at the bottom, alone. Okay? Because you still will not take the accountability to face it and to deal with the raw truth. Go ahead, Tisha.
Yes, one of a couple of things that I wrote down is going back to what you said about facing things that is hard for us to talk about. Yesterday I was doing an event called Our Hearts and Wealth,
Mm-hmm.
and we talked about marriage and relationship. How when you meet somebody, and even if y'all together for 5, 6, 17 years, finances is something that's always a hard thing for people to discuss.
Right.
Especially people of color.
Yeah.
Other nationalities. That's always the first thing that gets figured out and planned out.
Mm-hmm.
Joint account, this
Yeah.
account, things like that. But then when things are hard or rough, finances are just something that people steer away from because it brings up arguments and friction and also the real truth of what people are doing with the money. Okay.
Yep.
So it's a revealing conversation. So but again, all in all, you got to face that. You got to really face that. Another thing I want to mention on the other side of this that you was talking about, talked about financial literacy. Another thing is we got to face is the wrongdoing that people do to us. You
Yeah.
know, for what the other day I was carrying a whole bunch of like hate and anger and stuff like that. And when I dropped my
Sure.
kids off and I was on my
Sure.
way home, I actually prayed
Yeah.
for the person that has been causing me so much anxiety and turmoil. And I
Yeah.
prayed that that person, God blesses them and things like that. But one of
Mm-hmm.
the things that happened to me after that, it was almost like a release. Like, okay, you've evolved mentally where you could pray for your enemy that God gives them good. It's almost
Mm-hmm.
like in the Bible it talks about be kind to your enemy because it's almost like you're gonna put hot coals on their head. You know, treat your enemy kind. They thirsty, give them water, things like that. And
Mm-hmm.
I remember every time I read that scripture, I was like, oh God, never, never, never. But that's also a way of facing it. It's also a way of saying, letting people know, like, listen, you may have done all these things and said all these things, but my life is still going to go on. I'm still going to be successful. I'm still going to be amazing. I'm still going to be around the most amazing men and women. So it's that too. A part is facing it and deal with it. Don't face it and deal with it in a sense of anger because that only hurts you. Face it and deal with it in a sense of joy
Yeah.
and peace and say, you know what? I really
Mm-hmm.
felt that day that I moved on when I sat there and I prayed for the person and I said, God bless them, bless them, bless them, bless them. And
Mm-hmm.
being kind to them is important as well. Yeah.
Oh,
Hmm.
for sure. And on the previous point before the Wi-Fi had knocked me out,
Right.
I was saying I was mentioning about Alicia Keys, that how she recently, if you remember, you know, because she's married now, she has a family and all those things.
Right.
But now, I love her realness where, because she's in this world of glamour, when she's on stage and stuff, she's always coming looking like fire, just gorgeous. But this
Hmm.
girl now, has been at the time, was coming in without no makeup on,
Hmm.
right? She was just being herself.
Mhm.
And I don't know, that first time her coming exposed like that, I don't know
Mhm.
if she personally felt vulnerable or
Mhm.
insecure, because she's in the limelight all the time. She's
Mhm.
always prepped and made up. But for
Mhm.
her to come out in the public without the makeup, without the mascara and all this stuff,
Mhm.
you know, um, I was like, that's a real woman. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That she doesn't she's not being defined by Hollywood as to how she's
Right.
supposed to look, you know.
Right.
She doesn't care. Well, I think this is my opinion. Uh doesn't care about what people may say or think, because trust me, people were saying stuff.
Yeah, of
Like,
course.
oh,
Yeah.
she need her makeup back on or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
you know. But I love her vulnerability. I
Right.
love her truth. I love that she was still strong. She was still
Mhm.
beautiful. She
Mhm.
still was a wife, a mother,
Mhm. Mhm.
an artist, right?
Mhm.
She took the mask off and showcased her true original
So.
beauty.
Mhm.
That really
Mhm.
stands out. And we as women, we need to do the same. I'm not saying, like, come out without your makeup on or whatever, because some women use makeup as their mask.
Right. Right.
They cannot leave that house without makeup on.
Right.
they
Right.
they feel so uncomfortable,
Mhm.
you
Mhm.
know. But it's a process to get to that level. And
Mhm.
then once you decide to step out that door without your mascara, without your concealer, without your foundation, and
Mhm.
just put on lip gloss and go
Mhm.
about your day, you're gonna feel a little bit nervous. That's natural.
Mhm.
But I guarantee, if you do this consistently back to back, it won't bother you after a
Mhm.
while. And then
Yeah.
you're
It
gonna
won't.
find out people gonna still look at you as the most beautiful, radiant, dominating,
Mhm.
strong woman.
Right. Right. That you truly are. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's important. Stand just, and that comes with self acceptance too. I
Yeah,
know we
it
live in a
does.
world of social media and we're seeing all the Instagram girls and we're seeing all these things.
Yeah.
And sometimes as women, and I've done this myself,
Yeah.
we think we have to look a certain kind of way to feel accepted or to feel beautiful or to feel sexy, to feel all these things.
Yeah.
And think that we think those ways, and really a lot of times those things don't matter to people who are really genuine.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You just be
Yeah.
who you are. Sometimes when we try to be so perfect, it pivots people away. I've had this awakening experience a couple of months ago where I was like, I just want to accept me, and if
Mhm.
it changes, it changes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But when you're
Mhm.
around people, and I was saying this earlier before you hopped on here, when you're around
Mhm.
people who you can genuinely be you, it's the most freeing experience.
It sure is.
Like I never, you know what I mean? Like, and you got to get rid of the toxicity in order to see that. And I
Mhm.
really want every woman, everybody who's watching this, to really know that there's other people out there. There's other, like when they say fishes in the sea, or people out there who will embrace who you are, your curves, your flaws, your everything,
Yeah.
along with the good things too. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
it's definitely out there in drones. Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah. For
Yeah,
sure.
was that the last point, Treese? Number
Yeah, it is.
4. All
It is.
right, all right. So listen, everybody, there is no what's news tonight, okay? But make sure y'all be
Mhm.
ready for next week. There will definitely be a what's news.
Mhm.
We'll let you guys know. Again, we're gonna tackle down a day. Y'all let us know in the chat which day and time we should show up every week. That will help us as well. But
Mhm.
we appreciate y'all for joining us today. We hope you guys have got a lot of value from today's topic. Like I said earlier, join in on the conversation. Say what was your biggest takeaway and what is the number one thing that you are going to take action on. And make sure you're doing 3 things. Make sure you have your notifications set, okay? Put it
Mhm.
as your favorite channel, favorite page, whatever. Make sure you join our Facebook group community at bit.ly/your brand, your breakthrough. And make sure you're also on our email list as well. Okay. So, anything you want to say before we hop off, Tawanta?
No, I believe we said more than enough. Hopefully that those who watches this replay will really be blessed, and it'll help them, with their life.
That's right. That's right. Next week is Valentine's Day, so I know we got
Oh
partners and friends,
yeah,
family out there, but do something for you. The best person to love on
yeah,
first is yourself. So your
that's it.
your gift should be more expensive than the ones you get for other people, right? All right, guys. Thank y'all for tuning in and watching. And as always, love on your sister. Peace.
Right.
Bye bye.